Hello, I'm Mariita. Welcome to Here and Now.
Here and Now.
99.1 FM.
Where is home? That is the question behind a new TV documentary called One Heart, Two Homes. It explores the search for identity and the evolving relationship immigrants to Canada have with their new home and with the country they left behind, in this case, Lebanon. Filmmaker Gaby Andraos is here in the studio with me. Welcome, Gaby.
Oh, hi, Mary.
So why did you want to make this film?
Mary, I met now my very good buddy Ahmed Maroof,
who does work for us on Here and Now.
Yes, does some work for you, and he was working for Radio Canada International at that time, and he was interviewing me on a project that I was working on, and then we became friends, and then we started talking, and then we felt there was a need to talk about belonging to two different homelands, and as the name of the documentary One Heart, Two Homes suggests, that anybody that comes to Canada, leaving their homes behind, starting a new life in their new home, they start having this identity change or identity, the moment they land. So I thought it's a challenge that we have to talk about it more in the media.
So what were you looking for? Maybe what were the answers that you were hoping to find in creating this film?
I wanted to find out how people, from a Lebanese origin, whether they were born here like first generation or second generation, I want to find out how they were dealing with having dual identity. How was it manifesting itself in daily life? What were the challenges they were facing? Whether in different type of fields, having this challenge of adapting to a new country, but bringing all this culture with you from your homeland. So we wanted to see how people were dealing with it.
Well, has this been a struggle for you at all? I mean, I know you came to Canada, you were an adult, you were 23 years old.
That's correct.
But what was it something that you questioned? You were, I guess, searching for your identity and your relationship with here and your homeland.
Maybe the oldest, you come here when you're older, the hardest it is. The younger, the easiest. You adapt faster, you pick up the language fast. In my case, I spoke English before I came here, so it was easier, and I decided to go back to school. This also helped. But yes, it was a challenge because you come here at 23 years old. You already established your personality, the way the music you listen to, things you like, and then you don't really have much to share with the people, with your friend at school, the first few years. So it takes some time to adjust.
Well, you ended up interviewing 5 people, 4 originally from Lebanon, and there was one man born in Canada of Lebanese heritage.
Yes, Omar Moualem.
Yeah, What was the most important thing that you learned about their relationship with Canada and with Lebanon?
I give you an example about Salah Bachir, who's a well-known personality, at least in the art community in Toronto. And
he's the head of Cineplex Media.
He's the yes. Mm-hmm. And he came here when he was 10 years old, and then he considered himself to be more Canadian, and that's very understandable. But then when we start talking, I start discovering that he goes to Lebanon on a regular basis, maybe twice a year. He listens to Lebanese music, and he, obviously Lebanese food in the house. And also he gets the oil from the grooves of his, parents and grandparents, and he brings it to Canada and he gives it away to friends and family.
That sounds pretty Lebanese to me.
I told him, you're the most Lebanese I've ever met.
So what does that mean then? Because it makes me think back to a comment that the senator, you featured Senator Pierre DeBanne, yes, in the film, and he said that you can never escape where you were raised. Do you believe there's truth in that then?
I feel maybe the need for us to belong, and then or to be attached to the country where we were born or where our parents came from. It has this meaning to us that we hold on to. And then Senator DeBanne was very clear to say that his loyalty is 100% to Canada, but he has this connection with Lebanon, the country. he spent the first 10 years of his life in.
It's also interesting, though, that he pointed out that connection can be a problem. He talked about the fact that there are Lebanese who come to Canada, though, and they bring that political strife from the homeland here, and he was critical of that.
That's unfortunate, especially, considering Lebanon and the turmoil in the Middle East. You cannot but be connected to it, through news, through, the family that you still have there. And then, unfortunately, they're divided on politics. And this divide, is brought here into Canada. And then the community is divided politically. Yeah. But at least here in Canada, we deal with it in a civilized way, So
what do you hope then, like when viewers see the film, what are you hoping they take away from it?
We did this documentary with Lebanese, but I don't feel this is a Lebanese story. This is the story of every newcomers to Canada. And then Canada, Canada do a lot for the newcomers in terms of helping them learn the language, helping them find jobs. But I think we need to talk more about this dual identity and how this identity start changing and evolving every day we spend more in our new home, Canada.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the film, and thanks for coming in and sharing it with us.
Thank you for having me.
That's Gaby Andraos. He's producer and director of the new documentary, One Heart, Two Homes, which airs on Omni 2 in Ontario this Sunday. That's June the 2nd at 7 p.m. If you'd like more info, you can go to his website, which is andraosmedia.com. andraosmedia.com.